I can guarantee you that you don't know at least one of these items on the screen currently. This video is about the most forgotten items in Fortnite, and trust me, you won't know all of them. Starting with number 1, Cosmic Chests. They were released in Chapter 2 Season 7 and they were unique as in you couldn't open them by just interacting with them or breaking them. Instead, you had to have your entire squad present and then you would need to take turns pickaxing the chest to open it, and they would spawn at random within 200 meters from you. But here's the catch, you must open it within 4 minutes or it would just disappear, and depending on the game mode it would grant you 2 or 3 weapons with consumables on it as well. They were really good since the minimum rarity of weapons they would drop would be rare and it could go up to legendary. Number 2, I'm sure you haven't heard of this one, but it's the fire trap. It's been forever since we had a trap in the game, but this one was introduced in Chapter 2 Season 4. It was an uncommon rarity and it did 50 damage per hit, 10 damage every second after the hit had established for 7 seconds. But it had a 7-second cooldown, which wasn't too bad, but since spike traps ruled Chapter 1, people were just too good and careful to activate these traps and never really got hit with them. It ended up never just being used. This is the reason why it is one of the most forgotten items in Fortnite. No one really picked this up because they knew the average IQ of an average player would be too significant to even activate one of these traps, so it would just be pointless to even put them down. You would always have them in your inventory since they'll be on floor loots, chests, but you would never actually come around to placing one of these ones down. They were really good, but yeah, no one really fell for it. Number 3, whirlpools. A bit like geysers but in the water. Was in Chapter 2 Season 3. It only stayed for 1 season and it was similar to the cooling towers in Steamy Stacks. I don't know if you remember that, but there was used to be some cannons that you get pushed out in the air and you could glide. It was a great way to add mobility to the game, and honestly it was a very good feature in the game as well. So why was it forgotten? Well, we only had it for 1 season, and the fact that that season we had it in was one of the most driest, deadest seasons in the history of Fortnite. It was the flooding season. All the season had changed throughout was the water levels just increased, and the storm was a tsunami as well, which was a really cool feature. I'm not gonna lie, I really enjoyed that from Epic Games. If you enjoyed this video so far, by the way, a sub to the channel and a like would mean a lot. Without wasting any more of your time, let's get back into number 4, the unburned sniper rifle. This might be the most forgotten item in Fortnite as a whole, even more than the Zappatron. I want you to pause the video and type in comments what collab you think this is from. Well, it's the Mandalorian collab. The weapon is basically a sniper with a thermal scope, just like the thermal scope the assault rifle. The weapon wasn't bad at all. In fact, it also had a melee ability just like in the show, and it would do 45 damage and knockback per hit. This was just forgotten due to it being one on the map since Mandalorian only spawned as 1, and Mandalorian being hard to find since there wasn't a particular POI he would spawn at. He would just spawn at anywhere in the area, and this was just really hard to find him, and when people did find him they were unlikely to use it because there were already other snipers in the game, so it was just a bit pointless. Yeah, it just didn't work in the meta that this was released in. Number 5, you may think that this current legendary chest is the only one, but there was a Chapter 1 Season 7 legendary chest that was released at the very start of Fortnite. It would only be found in the block POI at first, which is a POI where Epic picks creative map POIs to put into the official map, and the chest would guarantee you a legendary weapon and some consumables, of course, including the chug jug. But after the block got removed, it stayed for 1 more season, acting like a rare chest. It just started giving epic or legendary items instead. Number 6, Colombo, which was very popular in the Fortnite community and even on YouTube. But what really happened to it all of a sudden, because it just disappeared overnight? Well, it was introduced in the wildlife season where you had pigs, boars, more stuff that I can't remember. It was Chapter 3 Season 1, and it would be around the map and you can ride it. It used to be massive. You could feed it clomberries, I believe it was called. You could feed it 2 at a time, and after you feed it a certain amount of times, you would do like an emo acting happy. You could even hit the Colombo, which you could hit it 10 times. If you do, it'll become hostile to you for 30 seconds and it would do actually impeccable amount of damage, which would be low-key scary. You can also ride it. At the top there used to be these holes where you can stand on the holes, and after a few seconds when it starts breathing, it will act like a geyser and you'll be shot in the air and you can glide, which was really cool feature. I really enjoyed that. Everyone loved Colombo. There used to be so many YouTube videos online and it was a really good storyline. Basically everyone loved Colombo. I'm not sure why they removed it. It just got removed all of a sudden after the chapter ended. We miss you, Colombo, please come back. Number 7, the theme of season 9 chapter 1 was bite and futuristic development to Fortnite. So they released Fort Bites, which was something you would get after completing a challenge or just playing the game. The more you got, the more rewards you would get. The maximum would be 100. Stuff like edit styles for skins, new emotes and wraps and all of that stuff, the cosmetic stuff. When you got 94 bytes, you would get an entire new skin called the Singularity, and its challenges would be unlocked where you would have to do the challenges for the skin to be unlocked, of course. When you would get 104 bytes, which would be the maximum, you would get a loading screen which would be in line with the storyline about Jonesy pointing at something. This was really interesting because around this time everyone was really invested in the storyline and people knew what was actually happening, so it made a lot more sense for them to be putting this loading screen at the maximum level, and also they put it at 90 for the actual skin because it would be easier for most people to get. However, this had complications at the start because each fort buy you had to do a separate challenge. So at first of the season, Fortnite made the challenges just way too difficult and people started complaining. So after a few days, they had to reintroduce the challenges and they made them a bit easier to get. This wasn't really, these were quite fun as it made you do stuff you wouldn't regularly do in Fortnite, such as play a certain game mode at certain times. Like you would play 40 duo games. I'm just making this up, by the way. It wasn't really 40, it would be more like 10 duo games at the same time just to get that fort buy. And usually some people would just be playing solos or they would just be playing squads. So it made people try out new game modes, which I really liked, and it made people try out new weapons also, like getting a certain amount of kills into the sniper rifle. It also made people do LTMs as well, which was really good. But this was really disliked in the community as it just took way too long to get 104 bytes and it just became a chore instead of actually wanting to do something. Well, this is it for this video. If you did enjoy this video, a sub to the channel would mean a whole lot, and watch this video on the screen. I'm guarantee you that you will enjoy it, and let me know down in the comments below what other videos you want me making, and have a great day.